as the winner of my Hololive quiz, Soup, aka NiSUE, aka SUEshi, I'm just gonna call you Sue if that's okay, could decide the topic of one of my videos. And this is exactly that. The video they decided on was assigning every Hololive member with a weapon, and for those who already have one, to give them like a secondary weapon. Honestly, a really cool idea that also fits on this channel very well. The thing is, doing all of Hololive would honestly be way too much. If I did every single member, this video would either be like an hour long, or I would have to make the part of every member like 20 seconds max. Both would honestly be something I would rather not do. So I'll limit this video only to Hololive English. That doesn't mean that the other branches couldn't follow in the future though. But even for Hololive English, there were some members where this task would prove to be rather difficult, because combat weapons just don't suit everyone. Sue mentioned that I could just skip over those who are not doing any combat at all, but you won this video, so I want to make this a proper one. So even for those members, I came up with something. Also, this is just me having fun, coming up with cool ideas. Sue even said that they are just interested in what I would come up with, so some of these weapons might make more sense than others. With some I considered the lore and the member's personality, but with others I just went with something fun that I think would be fitting for them. By the way, I drew these weapons myself. I can't draw. Enjoy. Kelly was rather simple. Some might actually say that she already has this tool, but Kelly for sure needs something to take and store people's souls. So I would give her a lantern for exactly that purpose. We saw Kelly in her Enrico animation, which I still don't consider canon by the way, use a cage to store them. But I think a lantern is way better for that, and also looks way cooler. She can use it as a normal lantern when she patrols the dark streets of the human world, and once she finds someone whose soul need to be taken care of, she raises the lantern up and extracts the soul. I know this is technically not really a weapon, but don't worry, I only used a tool or something similar for 3 members total. All the other members will get actual weapons. You think they will notice that I got that idea from Thrash? Nah, there's no way. Kiara will technically also not get a new weapon. I'm sorry, Sue, but I had to do this. It's right there. Okay, so you know how Kiara has like the smallest sword to ever sword and the smallest shield to ever shield? Would be awesome if she had something bigger. Yes, Kiara is not getting a new weapon. She gets the ability to combine both her weapons to a giant greatsword, being both able to block stuff and also able to go for big slash attacks. By the way, I'm scripting and recording this before I draw the weapons. It's probably gonna look like trash, but hopefully you guys can tell what I'm going for. Anyways, I think Kiara needs something mighty like that. Not because without it she would be too weak, because those just don't look up to her standards. Gura was probably the easiest one to come up with a weapon. She already has her trident as like her main weapon, so what I will give her is something smaller as a secondary weapon. And I honestly can't think of something better than a little dagger made of a shark tooth. With her superhuman physical attributes, I totally see Gura be more of an assassin-like killer. And the big trident might get in the way when doing that. So something tiny like a dagger is just what she needs for that job. Ame definitely has to get something rather normal, something a normal human could carry. Holocure did it, Dr. Watson himself, who is the inspiration of Ame's character, has one. It's a revolver, but it's a modern revolver Ame got herself from the future. This revolver does not shoot normal bullets. It shoots suppressed air with the exact same effects as normal bullets would. Which means that this revolver never runs out of ammunition. I just made this up, I hope this makes sense, but it's future technology, so even if it doesn't, we can make it work. Ina was the first member that was a bit more difficult, since I don't see Ina really getting physical and engaging into combat. Now, I could give her something like a gun, but giving Ina one right after I gave Ame one doesn't feel right. So let's just give Ina something that would fit if Ina did some fighting. So in my head, if Ina was to fight, she would probably primarily use her legs and opt to kicks. And since she already has those tall heels, I thought maybe shoes that have blades as heels would make sense. She of course would only use them in combat. I don't see those being too comfy on a daily basis. I don't think something too bulky would suit Ina too, so something small but still effective is what I would give to Ina. I also considered giving her something that her tentacles could carry, maybe also some kind of swords or something, but that image also feels a bit weird to me, and I feel what I gave her isn't too bad of an idea. Fauna is another one that I don't really see running around with a weapon. I had the idea of just making her a shapeshifter, which she should be capable of as a Kirin, and just make her fight using like a tiger form or something, but that's not really a weapon, so I went with something else. I don't know why, maybe green women and lances just fit, but I decided to give Fauna a giant wooden lance. Now I hear you say, why would someone like Fauna carry a giant wooden lance? Well, why would someone like Fauna carry a weapon at all? So, honestly, I think it's not that bad of a match. Beautiful women and big ass weapons isn't that new of a combination, especially in anime, and I kinda like the thought of Fauna marching into battle with pretty much a giant tree in the shape of a lance. I can already see the comments about making Fauna a fister because of 7 Days to Die. Iris is also one where I kinda did what Sue wanted, but also kinda not. Sorry Sue, when you texted me your idea, my brain just came up with so much stuff related to the topic and now I wanna share them. So Iris is a Nephilim, so right away I wanted to do 2 different weapons. One for her demonic side and one for her angelic side. But in Iris' case, she's not holding the weapon. She will become the weapon. I guess Sue, you could just make her carry those weapons if you want. Anyways, you guys know how in fiction demons like to take control of mortals by making them carry some kind of item or something. Now that I think about it, this sounds exactly like Darken from League. I swear this idea is not from League, okay? I decided on it being 2 blades. Just one with the demonic design, taking the pink color of Iris, and one with the angelic design, taking the light blue color of Iris. I just realized there is no way I'm able to draw this. Shit. Crony is the second one where I couldn't really come up with a weapon per se. As the Warden of Time, Crony doesn't need a weapon, and it's even stated that Crony wields her dual blades just for the fun of it. So I will give Crony a tool that allows her to channel her time powers better, even though she certainly doesn't even need that. You can say it's something similar to Armor's stopwatch, which is heavily implied to be from Crony. And what item would someone like Crony like more than a mirror? Yeah, it makes just too much sense. In that way, she can look at herself while using it all the time. So here's how I imagine it works. The stopwatch allows to time travel actively, and the mirror allows you to just look into the future or into the past without having to actively go there. That's the idea I had at least. If you guys have anything more fitting for Crony, let me know down below. Mume is already well equipped with both a dagger and a lantern, but something she is definitely missing is something really lethal. The dagger might do the job from time to time, but for actually taking out targets, it's not the most practical thing. So the weapon, or rather weapons, I will give Mume are sharp throwing feathers that she can easily use as accessories until she needs them to, well, take out the trash. There's not much to say about these. I came up with them in seconds, so there's not really a process I could tell you guys about. The drawing might actually not look that bad. I mean, how bad can I fuck up a feather? Bay was another tricky one. First, I wanted to go with a similar system like kites from Hunter x Hunter, where Bay throws a die and depending on the number she rolls, she gets a different weapon. But then I remembered that I would have to come up with at least 6 different weapons and also draw them. So I kinda scrapped that idea. Then I thought, okay, base chaos. What is like the most unpredictable weapon I can think of? So I came up with this beauty. I call it the bouncing ball of unpredictable end. Very tuney, just like the red would do it. Yes, it does what you think it does. Bay just throws it and holds it at the end, letting it go crazy. It can extend infinitely and just bounces from surface to surface, becoming more chaotic and unpredictable with every second. The impact hits are brutal. Yeah, that's about it. Next. So I'm halfway through the script and it's already one of my longest ever. So since Bijou is just fulfilling her dream, we can keep it short. She will get the jewel katana she always wanted. Honestly, in lore, I totally see her being able to craft such a blade, but there seems to be something that stops her from doing it. I honestly don't know, but now she has it. Well, not really. She had it if I was like the god of the Holoverse. Which I'm not. So she doesn't really have it. Sorry, Bibu. I will make Fuamoko share a weapon that is stronger when used by both of them in combination. It's a giant shuriken. In combat, they will have to throw it between each other for the best effect. So I imagine Fuamoko jumping around the enemy, positioning the target between them, and then just slicing them with every throw. That image just looks super cool in my head. Also, like that, no one gets jealous about having maybe the cool weapon or something. I guess sharing probably also brings their problems. But hey, let's not think about that. For Nerissa, I yet again will give her an evolution of her current weapon instead of an entirely new one. So this is what happens when Nerissa gets her second horn back. Her fork staff evolves to match her newly regained power. I don't know what my drawing will look like, but let me tell you, I tried to keep the design of a fork staff. Since under my item ranking video, some of you guys told me how smart the design is. It's pretty much just like a bigger, beefier version of her current weapon. But I know this is not much, so I figured I would also give Nerissa a secondary tool, and I think there's nothing more fitting than a microphone. To strengthen her ability of making people go mad with her voice, which is an ability she would also regain if Nerissa were to get her horn back. Maybe a megaphone would make more sense for that, but that might look a bit goofy. For Shiori, I went with the meme approach. Let's give her the giant scissors the Hololive community likes to depict her with. It honestly makes little to no sense considering what we know of her, but hey, I like memes. Yes, I'm cutting Shiori's part short. Get it? Cutting it short. So I actually think Raora pretty much already has the perfect weapon. Her nail glove thingy is honestly a really good fit. But I feel like when she's doing her paperwork and someone invades the justice base, she needs something a bit more powerful. No, I'm not talking about a jetpack, I'm talking about a shotgun. Just imagine someone bursting into her office and then Raora just stands there with a freaking shotgun in her hands. Yeah, I would probably leave that room again. Cecilia will get a bomb, but not any bomb. A self-destruction bomb. You know, Cecilia is still an automaton, even if she pretty much acts like a normal human. So I feel like whoever created CC might have programmed an emergency protocol in her, in case someone tries to change her program for their own purpose or to harvest her knowledge. And that protocol is a self-destruction protocol that will activate a bomb inside of Cecilia's body. Might be a bit sinister, but I think it's honestly pretty cool. Well, not for CC, but overall, you know. Gigi is gonna be a goofy goober weapon. I feel like Gigi is the kind of person who would, in case her giant gauntlets are not available, whip out just smaller gauntlets. So that is what I'm going with. Gigi's secondary weapon will be just smaller gauntlets. Reason? Because it sounds fun. And it sounds like Gigi. Finally, Herb, who was not too difficult to think of a weapon. I'm just gonna give her a whip with thorns on it. I can totally see Herb whipping that out. After all, she has Rose in her name, her sword is already called Thorn, so I think that's a pretty good one. I don't have to explain any further, right? There's probably other good weapons. After all, it is Herb we are talking about here. She could probably rock any weapon. The only thing I made sure to do is not to take like another blade, since that's what she already has and it would be kinda boring. Alright, that was the video requested, or rather won by NiSUE. I hope you all enjoyed. See ya.